Let's jam.
Go ahead.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome back. To start out with introductions, I would like to start with Benjamin, who is, of course, playing Ticto Talk Keeper. David, who is Fodor McNurgle. And Brian Ballard, who plays Edward, the Everflame Niven. And I am Joel, your DM. And a recap of last week's adventure. Driven to search for answers, the group decides to put an ad in the paper. After inquiring with Mick Longfoot, owner of Longfoot Media Distributions KLLC, he directs them to the office of Rick, the Goblin, owner-editor of the Sharn Screamer, one of the more prominent newspapers of Sharn, and directs the group to the repository, where Ticto gets a new spell, Fodor gets direction training Birdnacious, and Edward learns about his mysterious scroll that he's carrying. Edward meets Ygrath Nagrin, a sapphire dragonborn, who is skilled in ancient cultures and languages, and explains the scroll is complete and can only interpret a few words. He gives the team things to think about. Upon the return to the Tilted Chalice, Edward has dreams of a darkened fortress. The adventure continues, and I welcome you to join us on our quest to become Nerds of Legend.
Nice.
You guys wake up after your rest. This time, only Edward is plagued with the dreams of the vision of the fortress in the darkened lands. We are skipping. You guys spend 5 days Ticto learning new spells, Fodor practicing your training tricks, Birdnacious that you got from the cassowary riders of Madwoods. So, Edward, we're left with you. What are you doing during this time before you get ready to adventure out on your next leg of your journey to figure out the meaning of this scroll?
Something that that chap that we met before, the one whose warehouse was on fire, it didn't seem quite right to me. He said that he heard about us from the train robbery, but the people at the train station, they would seem to be covering. I don't understand how he could have possibly known about us from the train robbery if they had been like talking to all the other people and saying that we hadn't actually like been robbing things there. It seems to me that the only two houses that would really know anything about the train robbery were the people who stabbed that man or the man himself. So what I want to do is I want to go around town and I want to see if I can find this fellow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. First off, does anyone go with you, or are you guys going to be engrossed in your task?
I mean, if Edward asks me along, I'll join him.
Okay.
That's above the table.
Same. Or I'm going to be deeply engrossed in my studies.
Okay. Well then, Edward, it is day one. You are still recovering from your dream, but you are convinced that this person who was smuggling elementals holds a key, and you're sitting at the table mulling this over. And you're looking around, and unlike before, you have where Ursk is actually serving the tables, and his day lady is gone for the day. So he comes up to you and he's like, "How's it going this morning?"
All right.
Would have been better if you would have let me drink last night.
Yeah, well, you have to, keep the peace sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're welcome to act a fool tonight if you so choose, but you can't be wild forever. You have to let some people have a down night, and whatever. It's still early. So, what's on your agenda today?
Well, I hadn't really thought about it yet. Did you have something in mind, Edward? Fyodor?
Not really.
Oh, well, I have some errands to do.
Well,
I'm going to be honest, you were much more exciting the first night you were here. It's get a steady slope downhill conversation.
yes,
Night
well,
one.
nothing weird has happened lately, so there's that. We
Yeah.
haven't caused any trouble other than the first night we were here, so as far as I know. We just went to the library yesterday, so...
Yes,
I mean, you can only have so much phone when you're in a room with alien sandwiches. I mean, I guess you could get creative.
right. So, errands, you need directions? You're going to know where you're going, or you're just planning on wandering around? Anything particular you're looking for?
I think I'll be all right.
Right. Well, best of luck to you then, and same thing. See you back tonight.
Of course. I am paid up through the week after all.
That you are. That you are.
Do you need a hand at work? I mean, with your errands. Or you want to do those alone?
Well, you guys will be here, right? I know where to find you. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, at least later we will be.
All right then. Well, I'll probably see you guys tonight. It's nothing major, just a little something.
Very well. Enjoy your
All
time.
right. Horky dorky.
All right. You step outside of the building, and you're proud of yourself because this time you're not like overwhelmed by the number of people. You're like you're ready to take the step out and get walking to. But this time you decide, I don't know where I'm going. You're able to now remember the gate is this way. The station's this way. I'm going to follow the majority of the people that are going deeper into the city, which takes 2 blocks is the library, and then after that is you don't know, but you're like, that's where I'm going to head. And you walk by. There's a different halfling at Longfoot Media. We're yelling out yelling out the headlines of today. You do catch one thing, as you're walking. It's that fire start potions and all fire starters are now on hold temporarily due to supply chain issues. And a couple of people stop and they're like, but other than that, nothing really catches your eye. Nothing great. You're not, standard stuff like, you're nothing with your guys' name on it. So you're like, right on. But you don't stop. You listen to it, you wave, and you keep moving down. After a certain maybe 4 or 5 more blocks past the library, you notice the streets start kind of like opening up. There's a big open area, and it's no longer like just streets and cross streets. It now opens up. There's a big plaza in the center, and then people are milling about. You could see minstrels and bards, plying their tale. The occasional person yelling and screaming, random nonsense, big city stuff, and there's some performing troops, there's shops, but you definitely came into like a bazaar proper. There's definitely a market in this area. You think you found a good place to start.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna kind of hang out here for a little bit. Kind of, keep an eye on the crowd, see if I recognize anyone.
Okay. Do you mill around, or do you just kind of
Oh, I'm
plant
not gonna.
yourself down and.
No. I don't want to be too suspicious. So I kind of want to like wander around, make it look like I'm, looking at some of the booths when really I'm kind of like looking more at the people at the booths, sort of thing.
Okay, then I would like a double roll from you.
Okay.
First one is going to be a performance check. You are trying to perform as nonchalantly as possible. And then your second is a perception check. You can roll them at the same time. I don't care. But
Well, what
and
is
presenting
the other
Dice
check?
Cam for its first live usage.
Yay!
Yay, Dice Cam!
All right, so performance check. Okay, so that is
9.
a 9 plus 3, so that's a 12.
All right.
And what was the other roll you wanted me to make?
This is a perception check.
Ah. Okay, that's 12 plus 6, so 18.
Okay. You're trying to like walk. You're trying to like, nonchalantly walk around, but you're kind of like, hands in your pockets, doing the rocking back and forth on the balls of your feet. You're like, kind of like trying to hum to yourself, but there's no specific tune. You're trying. If somebody just glanced over you, like in passing, like as they're looking, they're not going to be like, oh, what a weirdo. But like if they spend any amount of time looking at you, like this guy's on some stuff. He's doing stuff because you're not only are you like doing this, you're like locking your eyes on certain stuff. You are definitely intently looking on stuff. You're like, so like you're definitely paying some serious attention to the things around you. But in your look, you look for a familiar character. You look for something familiar. That's what you said. You're looking for something familiar. And out of the corner of your eye, you see a brief flash of like color and like polished silver and gold. And you turn to see, and you see a shining silver and gold metal creature that looks very familiar with the sandwich board sign. And as you get closer, it says, "Wow, look at Wowbagger's Wonders." And you see written on this in these big, and very quickly after you see the sign, you see the very familiar shape of the flamboyantly dressed, loud, boisterous Minotaur stand up with the stand set up, and you don't hear what he's saying, but you see him like pick up something and like fiddle with it, and like poof, there's little puffs of smoke and little whirring machines. He's not getting a lot of attention, but there's some. And then as you walk closer to the stand, you see, Bertram Wildbaggers. You see Furface and Big Jim are like, come on, you want to see something cool? Like putting very little energy into it because they're just not really like marketing is not their gig.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, you do see Captain Wildbagger has set up his first stand in the marketplace of Sharn.
Okay.
Yep. So what are we doing? Are you heading that way, or you want to keep going?
They are not really what I'm kind of looking for at the moment, so I'll leave them to their business.
Okay. So then where are you heading?
How long has it been at this point?
About 40 minutes.
Okay. I'm just gonna send a message to Edward and just be like, everything's still doing all good over there, Edward? Because I know, like, we tend to, each of us get into trouble every so often just by existing in this town, it seems. So Oh, never mind. That doesn't work that way. I need sending for that. I just looked at the thing. Never mind. Wrong spell. Forget I said anything.
All right. So, so you don't walk towards them, you just see them, and okay. So from where you're standing, you'll see, Captain Wildbagger right in the central of it. And as you look around, also because we're still going to be going off your same perception roll.
Mm-hmm.
You look in the tile on the floor, like the tile, the paver stones, and every like 5 or 6, there's a symbol of an open hand, like just there standing. And you come quickly to learn that this is called the Open Hand Marketplace. It's usually a place for anybody to come in. And you get this from just gleaning and hearing people talking. This is where like entrepreneurs come to sell their wares. Like it's where the rapidly set up shops are. If you have a stand that you could take with you at the end of the day, or people that bring carts or wagons, like this is where new business is done for like people who have a new idea, and more established. You're gonna have to go to the open purse marketplace, which is more central to the city and a lot more high end. But in your wanderings, you do hear the grumblings of a supply chain shortage. And that catches your ear because you remember hearing that called out by the crier from Longfoot Media. They were talking about how there's a supply chain shortage, and you didn't really connect what it was, but you did notice that it was fire-based things, fire starters, fire potions, like things like that, and you're that kind of sticks in your brain for a little bit. Roll me a D4, please.
Okay. D4 coming up. Four.
Okay. This is you spend the next 4 hours just milling around, learning, and the best you're able to pull on your investigation is that something happened in the last day or two that has stopped a lot of the more desperate, like newer alchemists and tinkerers, artificers. It has cut their supply of pretty much like available fire material. Not magic. Magic is magic, but like usable material. It's kind of like they're bitching, kind of like if a blacksmith suddenly ran out of a certain type of steel. Now he can't make a sword,
Mm-hmm.
And that catches your ear. And in the 4 hours, you decide to get lunch, and you find a small cart selling these intricate, these very spicy smelling meats, and it's got like cooked flatbread. You fold it in half, you put the meat in there, and a little bit of cheese. It's pretty good. It comes in a cart. It's very popular. And you catch people muttering, I can't believe that he turned out to be so untrustworthy. Do you know how much money I lost? And snippets of conversation like this. I would like a stealth check.
Oh, all right.
And a perception check, or any variation if you have a spell or an ability that would allow you to get closer and hear. If you don't, I need those 2 checks.
Would I be able to use guidance on this to kind of like give
Yes, you
myself
may.
a little boost?
Sure, absolutely you can.
switch out to the Italian dice.
Aren't you fancy?
They're pretty.
All right. So then, stealth check first, I guess. That's an 18 plus the 2 plus the 5. So 25.
Oh yeah. You, as soon as you hear them talk about the supply chain, you're able to like get right up in there and listen. And you're able to sit there and overhear a lot of it. And you're not certain, but you're pretty sure that they're bitching about somebody who's named Travis Savart. And you're like, that son of a bitch. You're like, that was the guy that hired us yesterday.
Okay.
And so they're sitting there telling you. They're sitting there not telling you. They're sitting there just complaining about how they lost their money. How one of them has like if he doesn't get at least a Magnum Elemental, he's like, I will not. He's like, I'm not going to be able to manufacture anything. He's like, this one was complaining. Apparently, he has like a fire wand that's our like starter. They're like fire starters, but like a little bit more distance. So it's kind of an impressive little like flamethrower, but like it's really only good for starting fireplaces. It's more of a showy piece. But he's hoping that he's going to be able to use these and kind of like, get enough to maybe get a storefront and a little bit more established of practice, And you're able to very quickly put together that this guy was supplying, like his gig was he was running in elemental, like he was things from the elemental plane of fire, and then selling them at incredibly low cost to these very eager entrepreneurs coming in the open hand marketplace. And it had gotten to the point where he was the one that they would go to first. And so without him having this, there's a general, now that you're paying attention to this specific problem, you notice there's generally a sense of like despair and panic to a lot of the alchemists. There's others that are like selling water-based things, or like just general artifice that they don't seem any concerned at all. But there's a specific group that you could tell from their dress and the way that they're acting that they specialize in fire-based things, and they don't have you would be able to guess that they don't have the coin to go through more legitimate channels of obtaining this stuff.
Right.
And
so he wasn't using proper safety for transporting them, and so he was undercutting his competition, and now that's bit him in the ass.
Yeah,
Got
pretty
it.
much. What he was doing was like he had found a way to get a hold of some needed items, and in order to get these needed items, he didn't have the money either, because he was kind of new to this thing too, except he did have like the failsafe to put the fire out. He just didn't want you to know about it. But right now there's a open frustration with this person. You now, as you've been muttering around for like several hours, you're in there. You're literally you're almost like ear to mouth because your roll was pretty good. You hear that there's a lot that this guy has done a heavy amount of business, and that warehouse getting burnt is it's going to affect a lot of people, especially in this part of the town where like it's more of the eager-minded, wanting to make their way.
In the world today.
You haven't really checked like the more established markets, but right here it seems to be a big hit, a big thing. So,
well, I hear that making your world the way in the world today, it takes everything you've got.
Sometimes you
Good
gotta
night,
go where
everybody.
everybody knows your name.
And that's our show tonight. Thanks.
Da, 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 da.
All right.
All right, Rox, while you all die, Fodor, it's just you. How you doing?
Uh-oh. Turkey time? Everybody likes turkey
Well,
time.
I just went along with the bit. Why am I being punished?
For
Because you
going
went along
along
Shut
with
up
the
and
bit.
roll a new character. You're dead.
Shame. Shame upon
All right.
you.
Yes, you all have the pox now, so I should feel better. No, I'm joking. So, with your newfound information, what are you going to do with yourself? I need another D4 roll. We're going to see how many hours you spend listening on this.
Okay. That is a 3.
Okay, 3 hours. Nice. All right. 3 hours go by of you still milling in and around, and you feel after a piece of time that someone has paid attention to you, because very quickly you get you turn and like come face to face with a silver breastplate, and on there is symbol of the scales, and you like, and you look up into the familiar face of Greymalt Faust, the paladin of the scales who helped you with the house, to help you escape the house Falarin. And he's like, hey, I'll remember you. You were with that little weird murderer.
It was self-defense, I believe.
Yeah, I don't care what it was. It was 200 miles outside of my jurisdiction. I don't care. But, yeah. How you been? Why are you here? It seems like you've just been wandering around for a while.
How long have you been watching me?
I feel, this how we're going to do it. We're just going to answer question for question.
Well, you said
What
you've
is
been-
time anyway?
You say that it looks like I've been wandering around for a while, but I've actually been sitting down for quite a bit, so... No,
Right,
nothing.
okay, so you're all difficult. That's what I'm understanding. You're all unnecessarily obtuse. Okay, yes, you came to the marketplace, you wandered for a bit, and then sat for a long period of time and purchased nothing. That's what I'm saying. So it appears that you're in the marketplace for anything but the use of markets, and tacos only go so far.
Well, there's many things to a market. I mean, there's the interaction of lovely people like yourself.
I don't... My job is to make sure that nothing weird happens here, and everybody's able to do their shopping safely and effectively.
Good job.
You're as much of a pain in the ass as the other one.
I'm simply remarking that you seem to be doing a wonderful job. I've noticed a lot of people shopping, and nothing weird has happened.
I'm so mad Ticto's missing this. He'd gain a newfound respect for Edward.
Right.
You don't know what you're feeling, but
anyways.
like just at the bar, you're just like, huh. Yeah.
I just suddenly
Right,
feel
so,
it's like, huh, someone's annoying someone more than I annoy people.
Right, dude, I as a person am annoyed right now. Like, not even what this character's feeling. Like, I'm already already like I'm looking right now at Brian and feeling negative feelings towards him right now. Like just when he's like, "Oh, well, you've done well keeping things. Go fuck yourself, you little bastard." Yeah. Anyways, can I help you, or are you just here to sit around being weird?
Well, I suppose if you say that I'm being weird, then I guess I'm just here to sit around and be weird.
That didn't strike you as weird in itself. Like just that answer alone didn't seem weird coming out.
I mean, lots of people sit in marketplace when they're tired, right?
I've watched. You know what? Yeah, fine. Okay. Well, if you need anything, I'll be around. It's my
Actually,
job.
There was
No,
one
now
thing.
you need something. That's what it is now. Now you need something. I directly asked you, and you're like, "Oh, what are things?" And now you're like, "Oh, as I'm leaving to go do the rest of my round," you're like, "Oh, hold on, can you help me?" You're one of those people that yells, "Waiter!" after the waiter came and checked on you, aren't you?
I don't know what all that means, but I would like to know if you've seen this Mr. Travis around.
Who?
I believe he's the fellow who's been supplying people with some sort of like elemental fire for their contraptions. He's got a warehouse down that way.
He looks at you real like all joviality and like friendly sarcasm leaves his face, and he like gets real serious and pulls a chair out and sits across from you, and he's like, "From what I understand, the only source of legally sourced fire elemental energy or any elemental merchandise comes through the brokerage of Cambridge. Cambridge Commodities is the only ones that is legally allowed to move such items. And as far as I know, they're tieflings, and I've never met a tiefling named Travis, and they do not have a warehouse on this side. Theirs is heavily guarded outside of the open purse marketplace. But you're telling me there's a warehouse filled with such items here.
Not anymore.
No. He
Edward-
sits there and he's like, he's like,
Just
so, what do you mean not anymore?
If a certain paladin were to walk down this side of the street and come upon a certain factory, a certain paladin might then see that there are, in fact, remains of what seems to be a fire started by elementals, and that some fire suppression system might have gone off and destroyed.
Come with me. We're gonna walk. I'm sick of this. Let's go. And while he's walking, he's not friendly or happy. He's just grumbling to himself. He's like, "Motherfucker, it had to happen on my ship." Like, can't be. You're the one. He looks at you. He's like, "At least your friend killed somebody outside of town." Like I'm just saying, every time I meet you, it's some kind of like, you make my blood pressure go up. But then, you know, I have to walk, and he's looking around, and
in a far off
comes
bar,
to it.
Ticto sneezes.
Yeah. He comes up to it and he sees the. It's very clear. Like it's the weirdest thing. It's like ice covered, ice covered charcoal. Like, and the parts that aren't covered with ice are still smoldering a little bit, but there's like definitely like ice just jutting up out of it. And he's like, "Right. This is what we're talking about. I feel like this should have been," and he's yelling like out into the air, like hoping a guardsman would have done nearby guardsman. And roll me a perception check just for humor's sake.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Feel like this should have been reported to someone.
Let's see here.
Ooh.
Wow. So after my +6, that's a 25.
Okay. So as he's sitting there, he's looking around, and he's like, you do see like a guardsman just in regular, like frontman guards clothes, like you know, sitting there, and as he raises his voice, he's like, I feel this should have been in somebody's report. This guy's like, you know, and he's like, guys are like hide out, and it's like, ugh. But then he turns, and you know, he's like Grey Malt stared directly at him, and he like tries to like sneak out of the frame. He's like, you know, and then Grey Malt's like, you know, I see you, and they walked in there, and he's like, all right, what happened?
I don't know if it made the paper or not, but did you hear about some sort of explosion that happened here the other night? I do believe there was something about fire
I
elementals.
may have heard a sound, and it may have been off my shift, but I did hear something.
Well, I'm not.
It was
saying-
not clearly explained what it was, and they said my guards led me to believe it was much less than what it evidently is.
Well, I'm not saying that we were paid a sum of money to come here and quietly make sure that things didn't get too hot in town.
Oh, okay. I'm smelling what you're putting down. As he reaches in his pouch, he's like, and I'm not saying that I'm going to pay you to tell me who did not pay you to put out this fire. As he pulls out a little pouch of coins, he's like, I'm getting what you're trying to tell me. And he's like, so here's me not paying you to tell me who didn't pay you to deal with this fire. Are we on the same wavelength? Is that what I'm understanding right now? This is one of those deals.
So what I'm going to do
Oh, some gold would help me remember names. I have a very specific memory disorder.
I'm finding out that Edward is slimier than we know.
Edward's garbage, man. I love it.
Like, wow.
Edward's making
All
me
right.
work right now. Like, you know what? All the scenarios I wrote up of what these are, not this one again, but I didn't think we're going to be bribing paladins are going to be bribing you, but, you know, welcome to Sharon, I guess.
It's in his alignment, so.
Yeah, trash.
Oh, you mean his non-alignment?
Yeah.
So what Edward does is he produces from his pocket a small seed, and he will use Druidcraft on the seed.
Hold on. Do you take the money he's holding out?
Oh, absolutely.
All right. You can add 50 gold pieces to your inventory.
Nice.
Okay.
That's nice.
So as the seed goes ahead and starts to blossom in his hand while he uses Druidcraft, it opens up, and in this very floral kind of pattern, you can kind of see the seed like sprout like little, bits of like twig and whatnot, and they just kind of like spell out the name Travis.
While you're doing this, Grey Malt is like very excited at first, and then like as it continues to grow, he's getting less excited. And as it spells out Travis, he's like, "You've been able to put that together, but I do appreciate the pageantry. But Do you have a last name for Travis, or is it just I'm just gonna after every Travis in this town? Just say it. Just say it. We don't,
You know,
we don't need you to grow a Travis tree or anything with a second name on it. Like just.
I do have a second seed, but I'm having trouble remembering where I put it.
Hey! And he yells to the guard who's like hiding over the corner. Whose building is this? And he's like, oh, that's Mr. Savant's. I'm sorry. Is it? Right, great, thanks. Go fuck off. So Travis Savant, that was it. That was a lot. You know, sometimes the direct approach is the best approach. Just put that down. Write it in a bush or something, whatever you're doing.
I think that was Brian's way of saying that he couldn't remember the name.
No. Because, see, the thing is, as a player, I was going to see how much coin I could get from the guy by giving him the first name and then being all like, oh, you know what? I don't know if that...
He is livid right now. Because if you haven't picked up what he was putting down the first time, he does not like to work. This is essentially the cop that's like, this is going to be so much paperwork.
No, I was going to take his time for everything he's got.
Yeah, well,
he'll make sure that shit gets taken care of. He's just gonna grumble about it a lot.
Yeah, the whole time.
Yeah.
The whole time. And he's like, so what did he's now like? So what did you see? Well, what did he have in there? I'm assuming, judging from my highly trained ability to look at shit. It was fire, and it looks like a frozen spell.
There was a fire suppression system that seems to be have been pulled from my ability.
Explain to me what it looked like.
It looked like a blue cord that you pull, and then all of a sudden, frost everywhere.
He goes, right.
Or at least that's what my ability to look at things tells me.
He goes, was there any symbols? Was there any symbols on it?
I'll go ahead and I'll describe to him kind of like the casings that we saw, like the fire people in.
Oh no, not on the building. Was there on the suppression system? Was there like any markings, or was it just the blue cord and whatever?
Well, with the building kind of the way it is, I'll actually kind of like lead him inside, and I'll show him where the blue cord was, so that he can see if there's any kind of markings.
Okay, no, it's pretty much like it's everything is covered in like. It's weird because it's like some places are still smoldering right next to places that have like large chunks of ice on it. Like, so it's very obvious that this is definitely magical because the hard boundaries would not exist in a normal setting. So like, cause you'd have like still like some like glowing red hot, literally like an inch away from like a 3 foot tall like ice spike. So he looks and he's muttering to himself. He's like, it's pretty standard, but he's like, I don't see a symbol anywhere. So okay, you didn't happen to see like a large D, and he scribbles out this image. It's like a D in a circle with like an N next to it. And he's like, you didn't see this symbol on it. And, you have no idea what this is. Like, you've never seen that. You've never seen any symbol like that. He's like, that wasn't on, like, the system, was it?
No, it wasn't.
Shit. Right. So we've got a bootleg suppression system, which means probably not as reliable. And judging from the pattern, it's just luck that it went out. And a person who is apparently able to sneak in through my guards, fire elementals.
Or bribe them.
That I believe I just heard through a weird voice in the air that people may be getting bribed. And would you know anything about bribing? He pulls out another bag of coins.
I take the bag that he holds out, and then I hold up his other bag, and I go, "Yes, I would know something about that."
I'll give you
How much gold do I have?
Yeah. No, he's like, that's not bribing, that's fee for services rendered. Yeah, so besides, yeah, I just heard the wow of derision from someone. So anyways, yeah, you guys, he's ruminating over the fact, like, this in his mind is very serious. Like, there's a reason this stuff is a controlled thing, because like you don't bring like fire elementals anywhere without proper like procedures. Like, he proceeds to go off on this rant of like, because this kind of stuff happens and blah blah blah. He's like, well, I'm gonna have to look more into this and find who the hell this Travis Savat guy is. But you let me know if you hear anything about it. He's like, and then he's grumbling. He's like, that would explain why all the alchemists in the open hand marketplace are bitching. Like, they probably got all. He's like, now I'm gonna. You hear him like as he's walking off, grumbling. You know, to himself, I'm gonna have to be questioning people for days. It's gonna be so much paperwork. I'm sick of it. It's butter. And then he walks by the guard that didn't report. He's like, don't think I forgot about you. As he walks off towards like where the main guard check is, and this one like very currently.
Right.
But now it's starting to get to the evening, and it's starting to get, the sun's starting to dip down. The lights are starting to get, the lanterns are starting to get lit, and you haven't seen anything else other than now you have figured out that you clearly, which you kind of knew from his reaction, that he had lost his shipment. You didn't know that he was completely bootlegging, and that you thought he was like just this up and coming and trying to like make this work. You didn't know that it was completely under the radar and everything about it was illegal.
So actually, I want to do something. I want to look to the guard who was on, supposed to be like on watch and reporting all this stuff to him. And after he's gone, I want to look to the guard, and I want to hold up some of the coin that he gave me, and say, "Do you feel like telling me where this Travis hangs out?"
He's gonna look at you.
Let's be honest, you're already in the pocket.
I have no idea what you are talking about.
I hold up a little bit more money.
You gotta take it, and he'll be like, "Thank you." What are we talking about?
Where can I find Travis?
I just know he owns the building. I just didn't want to write up the paperwork. I thought the likelihood of it being found out was very low. I just didn't want to do the work. How much gold did you give him, by the way?
I'm gonna say that I gave him 10 gold.
All right. Well, he has 10 gold, and he is now like, I have no idea where he's at. Like, I just know he owns the building.
Then what I want you to do is, if you see Travis around here, you're going to come and let me know about it, at this location. And I gave him the directions to the inn, and I'm like, ask.
He's gonna like sit around, and then he's gonna start staring at you. He's gonna start staring at you really hard, and he's like, "Why? Why would I do this for you? I'm obviously in trouble because of something you said. So explain to me why I'm going to help you. 10 gold is 10 gold, but I'm going to get my ass chewed from the captain now.
Yeah.
And I appreciate the encouragement spell you just cast on your cojones right now, but I'm failing to see 10 gold. You give me 10 gold, and now what? We work together.
I cast charm.
I'm not even 100%. I'm not 100% certain that I'm going to have a job at the end of today because of the temper the captain's in right now. And you're expecting more things from it. I don't know, nor do I have an inclination to work with you.
I'd like to cast charm person on him.
All right. What's that, a save?
That is a save. Wisdom save, please.
What is it?
DC 14.
Oh, fuck. 13.
Barely. That would have ended badly.
Yeah, you'd have been so pissed. So he's like, I really am not inclined to help you, and you're like, really? And then you cast charm person. He's like, oh, my fault. I'm sorry. We'll do anything you need.
That's what I like to hear. So then.
I honestly don't know where he lives. I just know he has this building.
Right, that's why if you see him, you'll come and see me, right?
But I do know that occasionally he will go and take lunch over at the Spilt Ink. It's like one of those upscale bars where people go and they get that. A lot of people like to write in there, and it's a coffee bar. It's annoying. But it's not my type of place, but a lot of young people go in there and, write scrolls, use the ink that's provided there. They serve a lot of bitter water, you know what I'm talking about, with that invigorating draft. Yeah, he's known to go there every so often.
Can you tell me where
you
the
could
Spilt
look
Ink
there.
is?
There's several throughout the town, but the one you're looking for is going to be, do you know where the repository is?
Yes.
It's directly across the street. You can't really miss it. It's an inkwell tilted on its side, Spilt ink, big flashy letters. It looks like there's like a mermaid in a circle. That
I believe it's a
logo.
Mundo's franchise.
A what?
Mundo's Starbucks.
A Mundo's?
Mundo's.
Yeah. Are you trying to suggest that I'm talking that it's a coffee shop? Is that what you're trying to say?
No.
Benjamin?
No.
Keep your judgments out of here.
I'm not
Maybe you wanna
judging.
run this game.
I'm not judging.
Right?
I was.
Benjamin?
I'm not judging.
There's that weird voice again.
Yeah.
On the
Fine.
I feel there's dissension in the air right now. I feel the voice of condescension coming out of the ether.
That wasn't condescension. Whatever. Fine. Be that way.
I know, be quiet.
I'll sit here and drink my drink.
I didn't have to play this game with you anyway.
Man.
All right. So yeah. So he's like, that's all I know. But I promise I will keep an eye out for him. If I find anything, where can I find you?
You can find me at the Tilted Chalice. Ask for Garrett.
Right. Well, I'm Reginald. You can call me Reggie. I'll just say Reggie needs Garrett, and or I'll just leave a note that says Reggie says, "Go here." That's fine.
Yes.
Perfect. Right. Spilt ink. That's all I could say. So usually, he's there at mornings most times. So that's all I know. There's a box. I don't know, one of the drink purveyors. I don't know what they're called. The people that sell the invigorating drops. They're like, there's a small one. Her name is she's a sadist. She's a very tall. Her name's what is her name? What is it? Rose. Her name is Rose. She knows everybody that comes in. Scott never forgets a face, so she'll be your best bet. That's all I got.
Thank you very much, Reggie. You've been
It was good meeting you, Geralt.
It was my
And then he's like, but then as he says it, he gets a little confused. He's like, he gets a look on his face. He's like, and then never mind. Best of luck to you. Hopefully I still have a job at the end of the day, but, I apologize for being rude to you earlier. It's just stress of the moment.
Quite all right.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I apologize, though. I still feel bad. It's not the way, a servant to the people is supposed to be acting, but, good day. And he waves you off and starts walking back around on his rounds.
I think I have a new destination tomorrow.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Back to the chalice.
So Ticto's gonna sit there and think for a while, and then maybe he's gonna look at his spell book, and then he's gonna be like, "Is Ersk still around?"
He is, but you've got another one. Another person he's there, but he's sitting at the table and drinking.
Well, I was gonna just ask him a question.
Yeah, but the person who's serving tonight is.
No, I wasn't looking. No, I figured we were back to when
Okay.
Edward left, but
so we're way back.
Yeah.
It's morning time again.
Yeah,
All right.
I mean, we just Edward
I
decided to
know,
go rogue,
Edward's
so.
Fucking super spy over here. The fucking crime kingpin, apparently.
Yeah. I'm just gonna be like, oh, by the way, Eretsk, not that your food isn't lovely, but I haven't been to Shan before. I'm looking to try some other local cuisine. Do you have a recommendation for a place?
Oh yeah, in the open hand market, there's a stall that sells these little flat bread things with meat and cheese in them. They call them tacos. Phenomenal. Go get one.
That sounds like the best thing
Yeah, they're amazing.
ever. Thank you so much,
quite
Fodor. This
Well,
sounds
actually,
weird.
Hold on. They're best when they're sold by the Genasis, and you want the fire Genasi that sell them. If it's any other thing than a fire Genasi, wait, go to one with fire Genasis. They're the only ones that can get the right kind of spice in the taco.
Insight.
Just me saying. I mean, me personally, I like one that barely can speak common. That's how you know they know what they're doing.
Very well. I understand. Thank you, Esk. I just, I just wanted add a little bit of variety to my diet. You understand?
Right, yeah. I mean, I do. You can't eat sandwiches all day, even though your friend seems to be super excited with ale and sandwiches, and that's all he wants.
What do you think, Fodor? Would you like something other than sandwiches? There is food other than sandwiches.
You mean that it's better than steak sandwiches?
That might be. We won't know
That's
until we try it.
preposterous.
Well, there's only one way to find out, isn't there?
I mean, if they have steak, tacos?
Yes.
Taco. Yeah.
Tacos. Okay.
I mean, you can.
If it comes in steak.
You can get them. I mean, I like. There's a spicy pork that they get that I'm a pretty big fan of. Like, and then you can. I mean, if you want, I heard rumors you could get chicken, but I don't eat bird myself. You know, being a bird connoisseur, you know, a bird lover myself, I won't eat bird.
You're a bird lover?
I've been taking care of your bird for 3 days. You've seen my bird.
You've been doing what?
Fodor. There's another definition for bird, for lover, that doesn't mean that he fucks them.
Oh.
Yeah,
Right. I thought you were saying you were fucking my bird for the last 3 days. We were about to have a problem.
No.
We'd like,
He just
we would like to take this opportunity to remind you that Nerds of Legend is a mature stream.
That's awesome. Amazing.
Like, you're a pretty cool guy, but not cool enough to fuck Bernacious. That's
Well-
not
I like
right.
how you throw that out like that was an option. Like you're like, oh yeah, super fine. You got
No. In this
you
case,
can't
it just
do
means
that.
he very much enjoys the company of birds, not intimately, Fodor. Not in a weird way.
I mean, I'm not opposed to eating birds, just not this bird. He's cool.
I really thought you were going some different direction with that. When you... I'm gonna be honest, I was not quite prepared.
You gotta grow.
So
So
I'm
you're
assuming
still
we kind of like
so,
hung around and we're leaving there, heading there at like lunchtime.
Okay. Brian.
Tacos with Dicto.
I would like you to roll me give me a D6 divided by 2.
Keeping in mind, we didn't know he was going there. We're just going there.
Did you just want a D3?
If you have that, weirdo, of course, sure.
Right.
Ah.
Yeah, these will do. Oh, wait. Are these the ones? Yep, okay, very good. Haha. D3, come to me. That is a 3.
Then that
Wow.
would mean you are
I like it.
you are not quite sitting there eating yet. You are not at the stand yet. You are milling around, listening to people talk. So when Ticto and Fodor get to the open hand marketplace, they do not see Edward. Edward is walking around the marketplace, lost in the crowd of people. So you guys get up there, and there's two. It's kind of neat. There's two like levels. There's like a high one for like the taller humanoid creatures, and then there's like a lower one with like a step stools available for that small races to get up there and see.
Ah.
So you guys get there and order.
Yes.
You order.
My friend would like the steak tacos, and I would like your pork, so your spicy pork.
In a very, very, very almost unintelligible accent, you just get like, yeah.
Perfect.
Like they have no idea. They have no idea, but they know the words you're saying,
Mhm.
and they're like,
Yes. Two of each. Three. Two.
And then the one pushes aside and comes like a tabaxi comes up and is like, a very thick accent. You know, he's like, it's going to be three silver for your fee. Would you?
I'll
For
pay
your
him.
tacos.
I'll pay him.
Okay. He's like, he thanks you.
My treat, Fodor.
And then he translates back. So you guys take your tacos, and you go to find, like, again, like everything else in this area, like it takes into account large, like, and then there's smaller tables. And so you find a comfortable table for you guys. And while you guys are eating, you hear, you hear, hey, come over and see what Captain Wildbagger's got at his stand. It's kind of cool.
Captain
Hey,
Wildbagger.
like-
Have we finished eating?
And you see a very, like, already over it halfling, you know, a big Jim,
Mhm.
who's like, come see the wonders of Captain Wildbagger's.
First of all,
And
have we finished eating yet?
oh, you just hear it in the distance, like it's just part of the din. It's just
Okay.
something you're able to pull out.
Tacos.
Mhm.
Yeah, they're amazing. Like, you guys are super excited about it.
So, Fodor, better than sandwiches?
I mean, it's steak, so it's more or less the same. This is just a one skinny bread.
So
sandwich?
so it
That's
has
pretty good.
so it has a better ratio of steak to bread than of sandwich.
Oh, aye.
Yes. Interesting.
It has a much better bread to meat ratio.
Excellent.
So some interesting flavors.
Hmm. Anyway,
I have a feeling
Have
I'm
you
going
heard-
to make an uncomfortable shit later.
well, yes, that's the spiciness it tends to cause.
Once again, Nerds 11 is a mature stream, not for a mature audience.
I feel that's awesome. I feel I will have. I feel this will give me the fire.
It
Fuck, I
reminds.
should have called him the fire shits.
Fodor, do you hear that off in the distance? I believe I heard the name Wowbagger. Do you remember Bertram?
Perception check, Fodor.
Yeah, I'll take a perception check. Oh, wow, I actually did pretty great on that. Let me see. What I actually got. I got a 19 on the die, but I believe that's a 21.
Okay. Not only do you hear it, but like you look over and you see that silver and gold flash. You think you see the sun. You think you see sparks, and then as you look over, he like turns and you see the full sandwich board sign that he's wearing, and you're like, yeah, I hear it. Like, and that's fucking Sparks. He's wearing a sign that says, "Wow, look at Wowbagger's wonders."
Look at Sparks being a dork over there. I think I heard Big Jim as well, but he's a little small to see from here.
Yeah.
Yes. Shall we check it out after we finish our meal?
I guess.
Yeah. So we finish eating and we head over, I guess.
Okay. As you go back there, you hear the like kind of like thicker tabaxi accent of Furface, and he's like, "See, Captain Wowbagger." He's like not even trying. He's like just kind of like laying underneath underneath this awning, like just like laying back and not like he's like, "Go see Captain Wowbagger." Like he's even less enthused.
Do I
It
see?
doesn't matter.
Do I see Captain
Sparks-
Wowbagger?
No, not yet.
Okay.
But Sparks is like putting it all out. He's like he's like spitting and dancing, like he's all into it because he's an automaton and has no, ego.
Sparks, you're great.
And then he's like,
Furface, work harder. Yes.
yes, quite. And then you see, oh, come on, to Captain Bertram Wildbagger's wondrous emporium to be. And then he's like, ah! Is that you? Techno.
Yes, it is, Bertram. How are you?
Hello.
To be honest, I really thought it'd be a lot easier to come in and be like, I make cool things. And I didn't think Artifice would be so hard to come by for sales spots here. I really thought I'd add a niche market. I do not.
You thought...
I do not.
Yeah.
However, I am one of the few with an automaton, which sets me a little bit apart.
You could do... I look pointedly at, like, Furface, and I'm like, you could do with a better marketing department, you know.
Oh, yeah, they're fucking terrible. I mean, they're mostly hired to drive the ship. Did he at least say come to the Emporium? Like, I'm hoping he at least...
In
like,
a very lackadaisical manner. And then he flipped me off when I called him out on his lackadaisical manner.
Oh, so he's in a fabulous mood today. That's
Yes.
wonderful.
He's also reclining under an awning, but not to be a
Clearly
tattletale.
lacks enthusiasm.
Well, he's part cat. Like, you know, I mean, he's the vaccine.
That's fair.
Yeah, I mean, what, you expected it to be like, woo!
You gotta get him some catnip.
What?
You gotta give him some
Catnip.
catnip.
It looks kind of like mint, grows everywhere in the forest, makes cats get really
You're-
excited.
You're shitting me. You're telling me there is motivational weeds growing around for cat people, and never once have I even thought of this.
As far as I know, it only works on cats.
I'll be a hornless bull. I'm gonna be honest.
You should just get a little burlap ball and stuff some in it, throw it right past his face, see if he notices.
Hold on a minute. And he sits there and he's like, he pulls this smart thing out. He starts like writing, "Get catnip, put in bag, throw at Furface."
You can have that one
Right.
for free.
Right. Anyway, so other than tricks to motivating crewmen, what else brings you here?
Well, we just saw Sparks just working it out there. We were having some delicious... We were having some delicious tacos, and
Have you ever had a taco?
Yeah, I had the
Taco?
vegetarian one. Yeah, I had the. They got veggie ones, which is more my speed, but yeah, they're pretty good.
yeah, it was delicious.
Yeah.
And then we saw your sign. We
put
thought
them in
we'd...
oil, and then they like cook the bread thing.
Mhm.
Oh my god, that was amazing. But I tell you, I did have an uncomfortable bowel movement after that. I'm just putting it out there. Beware.
Seem like they would do that.
Yes, we surmised as much, but it was recommended by a friend, so we chose to check it out. Anyways, we saw your sign and saw that you were decided to be in business. What can you tell us about your wares? You hadn't mentioned when you were heading here that you were getting into the artificer business.
Well, I did say I was going to sell wares, and then, I got here, and, I heard there's money to be made. People always looking to buy trinkets, and then there was a space to set my stand up to sell my wares, and people seemed interested, and I was like, see where this goes. So, just one choice after another, and here I am. And you take a moment, like he stands there and he like pulls out, he shows you, he pulls back and shows you his card. It's actually kind of ingenious because like it's weird, but it's a stand that it's very clear that it folds out and then folds out and folds out again. So it's like a table that looks like it folds into like a small briefcase, you
That
know,
is
like
so cool.
and but it's like he's like, this is actually one of my first inventions that I made. My first thing. But what it does is it folds in and it can pull out. And he's like, watch, and he takes the a part of it. It pulls out and it turns into like a back of the stand. So it's like a full on like stand with a back wall and like.
Nice.
He's like, yeah, it's I don't know, collapsible store table. I don't know, but you can hold a lot of shit in it. He's like, it's kind of like a bag of holding, but like a tabletop. Like, so you can't like get stuff out, but you can open it up and like it'll keep the stuff in there. It's convenient for selling, but it only holds so much. So yeah.
Sounds like it.
That's fascinating.
But yeah, what are you looking for? I mean, I don't have a lot of stuff. Thankfully, I don't do fire stuff because there's apparently, if I did, that would have been selling like hotcakes. Something happened to the supply chain of the fire. Well, like the fire essence needed for a lot of the magics, and my engines are run off electricity, which
Something happened to the fire stuff. You don't say.
Weird.
Yeah. Why? What do you know?
No reason.
Yeah.
You just randomly, or yeah, whatever. But the stuff that, mine's powered off lightning stuff, like a lightning stone. Kind of the same thing that helps keep up the lightning rail. I got little ones inside mine.
I feel like it's a little bit more reliable than firepower, but you know.
I mean, it depends who you get it, but fire is the old staple. Like everybody uses fire. It's predictable.
Yes.
Lightning's a little bit more power, but like a little bit more unstable. And it reacts weird with certain metals. Fire just makes everything hot. You know how that works.
Fair.
Makes sense.
Yeah, pretty much. All I've got here is I've got like, he pulls up a pouch. It's like a small pocket, and he's like, look, and he like puts it on his chest, and he like takes something that's like this long and like puts it all the way in, and he pulls it out. He's like, yeah, it's like a portable, like a little I don't know what to call it, but it's a pocket that holds more than it should.
I want.
He's like,
It's like a pocket of holding.
I want it.
Yeah, pocket of holding.
I
was gonna call him ever deep, but that sounded like inappropriate.
I want so many. I will put so many things in my pockets.
I got two.
Uh-huh.
I have two. But then also I made this, and he's got like a little. It's like a little case, and he opens it up, and in it is like a wasp. And he's like, and then there's another one right next to it. They look like earrings. He's like, these are neat. He's like, you put one up, and it's got like the message spell, but it's permanent. Like it'll fly up, and then he's like, you put it in your ear.
Huh.
He's like, and then you put the other one in the ear of somebody else, and you can send messages back and forth.
I like it.
Times, and then they break, but like, but yeah, they're useful.
Yes. That
That's
does.
fascinating.
Yeah. And then I got this too, and he pulls out another little thing. It's a stone that when you say a word and he says the word, the stone like bright lights up, and then he's like turns off. He's like, it's good for it doesn't do any heat, but it does light for about like 20 feet. That's all I got right now.
How much for the? You said it was a wasp.
Yeah, that's what they look like.
How much for a pair of the wasps and one of the pockets?
The message wasps are like, I don't know, like 25 gold pieces.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, they only got 5 uses.
Yes.
And then they're done.
Mm-hmm.
But and
what
the
about
pockets? Those are harder to make. They're 100 gold even.
Oh.
Usually.
Oh, okay.
But they're useful.
Yes, I agree they're useful. I just don't have that kind of money on me right now.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry.
But I could have. I'd take one of those message wasps.
Okay. Right. since we've known each other for a bit, just 20 gold is good. Kind of like a first-time discount. I'll give you 5%, 10% off or whatever.
Now, about the packet, would it be possible to take something on credit, and we could advertise your marketplace and places that we go, perhaps?
I like you guys, and I feel like we're off to a good start and a good working rapport. But I got 2 of them right now, and they're
That's
for
fair.
100 gold pieces.
That's
and,
fair. I just thought I'd
I mean,
ask. Maybe next time when you're more
maybe
established.
Next time, maybe I can make them quicker, more efficiently, and they be cheaper. I don't know, But these right now, that's my big ticket item right now. So
I understand. I was just curious.
Yeah,
I am gonna buy one of the message wasps. So
okay.
I'll need you to make a item so that I can put in my inventory for that. But
Yeah, I'll do that in a little bit.
all right. But yes, do you know when you'll be moving on from Sharn or where you're headed off to, Wellbeggar?
Right now, with how we've got things set up, I'm kind of good here.
Okay.
Why?
Well, I mean, perhaps we might hitch a ride if you decided to move on from this location. But if you're gonna be here for a while, I understand. I was just curious.
Well, I mean, the goal is still the same. Of I have to create. We want to get the ship in the air again, but that's going to cost money and time. And I mean, it's the best place to go, and people buy my stuff. So
Yes.
why ruin a thing that's working?
Exactly. That makes very much a lot of sense.
That's what I thought. I was pretty excited about it myself.
Yes. Perhaps you'll be able to use this catnip to motivate at least one more of your crew members.
The catnip. Yeah. Find me that. I might be willing to help you with that.
I mean, if I find any, I'll grab it for you, but I don't know if I'm going to be going out of
I
town.
didn't even know it existed until.
I mean, if we find Edward, he might be able to just grow us some from his hands.
That's true. I mean, he is a druid.
Right.
Anyway. Well, it was a pleasure doing business with you,
Yeah.
Bertram.
Where are you guys staying right now?
Fuck. I can never remember the name of that.
What over at that Tilted Chalice?
Tilted Chalice.
How? What are the rates? Do they got spare rooms? Right now I'm at. just to hold up the cat. So is this the point where Edward just appears out of nowhere? Retcons this whole story. It's like, Shoo, I hear you're needing catnip.
Just fucks up the timeline. Well.
He just comes back. He's like, Shoo, I've heard you could call me Garrett.
Well,
the purveyor of fine catnip.
I'm not sure if there's a spare room right now, but we paid, was it 5 gold a piece?
Yeah, 15 total.
We paid 5 gold a piece for 5 nights. If that sounds, it includes baths and food. So
They've got great sandwiches.
Yes, great sandwiches.
Fantastic sandwiches.
Yes.
Yeah, 5 golds for a week. That's okay. I'll just stay on the ship.
Well, we thought it was good. It was Ersk was treating us quite well, so perhaps he pulled the wool over our eyes. But
no, you're obviously not trying to start a business. You've got other things going on. Well, I
Yes.
have to watch my overhead, you know.
Yes, I understand.
You know, I mean, I'm not lying. The supply chain shortage for the fire, that bothers me. Like, what if it happens for the stuff I need?
Well,
So,
I'm sure that issue was an isolated incident.
you
But
can't be certain of that. I mean, I appreciate the platitudes, but you can't be certain of that. It's not like you personally had a hand in disrupting the supply chain of the fire.
I like Tikto looks around.
Fire.
Are we just like alone in the shop?
No, it's not a shop. You're outside.
Oh.
It is a stall.
It's
It's like-
open air market.
Like,
Oh, okay.
It's an open air marketplace. There is no stop.
I was like-
you're in like he's got a stand.
I'm just gonna like look around and I'm just gonna message to him in my head as like, if you want to hear a fun story, come by the Tilted Chalice later. Just like send message to Bertram.
You know, a whisper would have worked also as well.
Yes, but I have magic. It's more fun.
I respect it.
Why know these
I mean-
spells if I'm not going to use them, Bertram? You must understand.
That's like,
Why take the
do
trouble of learning them if I'm not going to use them? And this one's a cantrip. It doesn't cost me anything. It's like taking a piss.
I'm gonna be honest. I've never compared magic to peeing before. What manipulation of the forces of the universe?
It doesn't use up any of my spoons for the day. That's what matters.
I mean, I guess you can
Don't
use both.
ask.
I guess you can use both to write your name with. So I mean,
Yeah. And I'm just gonna be like, well, anyway, Bertram, I'm moving on, and I'm just gonna like back away, just prestidigitate sparks.
I'm just gonna be like, I'll see you later,
That's
Bertram.
what you do.
Yeah.
Like magic's like peeing. Sit down.
What I'm saying is, it takes no effort.
As if catching on cue, your little like watcher's little self is like shooting a gout of ice flame in the air as you're like shooting sparks.
No,
in the
because
air.
that wastes a spell slot.
Nah, you didn't tell him not to. Who cares?
See, Watcher, that was just wasteful.
He's like, what do you mean? What do you mean it's wasteful? You said I can now breathe ice fire out of my mouth, and I'm literally like this big. I'm like 4.5
Well,
ounces.
Well,
I'm gonna breathe ice fire as often as
So-
I can.
So, Watcher, if we wait, I will explain the difference
Starting to
between.
feel like you're about to take something away from me, and I just don't think that's
You know,
a sign of
no.
a good friend.
I'm not gonna take it away from you. I'm just saying.
You know,
There's
I'm
only so
feeling
many times you
like
can.
there's about to be some take backseat.
No, there are not. Only if you misuse this spell, the spell Watcher.
I don't. You gave me 0. You said, Watcher, check this out. You can now breathe ice fire. That was the extent of my. You didn't say, Watcher, you can only breathe ice fire when it's convenient for me. You said I could breathe ice fire. Period. That was it. You didn't say only so many times a day. You didn't say, and then you go off shooting sparks off, and like, I'll show you that I do it. And you're like, oh, hold on, we're in a restrictive magic environment where only one of us gets to use magic when he wants, and the other one can only do it. You know what? It's fine. I'm sorry. I'll stop. That'll make you feel better.
You know, you're a bird made of magic. You share my knowledge. I don't feel like I have to explain things to you all the time.
So what I'm understanding is this is an organic problem. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes.
Only for things that are made of actual corporeal flesh and not eldritch energies.
Yes.
Is
So
what it is?
the problem is
That's racist.
no. Can we not do this in front of my friends?
Can I keep the ice breath?
You can,
And we are.
but we're going to talk about the usage of it later.
Do we have to talk about it right now?
No,
Right now, you kind of took all of the fun out of me being able to like breathe it out. You took it all out. That's like telling somebody, "Hey, have this sandwich, eat it, now throw it back up." That's
You
what
know-
I feel like.
you know-
Are you gonna make me throw up sandwiches more often? Is that what it is? I'm an owl. I mean, I'll do it.
You know what? Fine. We'll talk about it later. I'm not taking it away
Okay,
for now.
No.
But there's only so many times you can use it. You
How
understand?
many? Like a day?
So you're gonna make me pull up the spell? You can use it technically once a day for a minute.
Is that a cumulative minute, or like I blow out one puff and then you're like, that's it?
Like a
Or do
minute.
I get like 59 seconds, and I can do that 59 1-second bursts throughout the day.
Are we gonna
Or
get
one
meta with
time.
this?
I'm trying to understand. As you pointed out, I'm formed by magic,
You know.
so I feel it should be a lot more simple than it is.
I don't know. We're gonna have to talk about this another time. We're gonna table this one. We're gonna take this offline. We'll talk about it later.
Sounds like a plan. And then he flies off, and you see him up in the distance, like trying to do it again. Like he's like, didn't work.
I warned you. I'm not giving it to you. I'm not giving it to you again today, Watcher. I warned you. I warned you. I'm saying this in my head to him.
Yeah, no, you guys totally can tell him. He's like, all right, I suppose. I don't have to like it, but lesson has been learned. Thank you.
Anyway, sorry about that, Bertram. My familiar seems to have a bit of an attitude problem, and I'm not sure how to fix it.
What? From what it looked like to me was you had a bit of a stroke, and then your bird flew off. Were you talking?
That was all in my head, wasn't it?
Yeah, it sure looked like it. All of a sudden, he's like, you left and you thought you were all cool, like, and then your tiny bird blew out like this ice flame, which that was really cool. And then you were like, you guys started like twitching and gesticating wildly. I was like, oh shit, he had a stroke. I was watching for a minute,
I see.
trying to find out if I had any of those healing potions left. I don't.
I had a full-on conversation with my familiar. I need to remember not to just like to have it allowed. Got it. Never mind.
Oh well. To be honest, it was slightly off-putting, but glad you sorted things out. I guess.
He's got an attitude problem, but we'll figure it out. He just has some. It's just some growing pains. We'll figure it out.
Right. Okay.
Anyway.
But before you take off, about that catnip, do you think like a herbalist would have it?
Well.
Is that like a thing they would have? Herbalists would have catnip?
They probably
I've heard
would.
some make it into tea, so maybe.
You could probably find it from a herbalist.
Holy shit.
You're not planning on
He's
drugging
like-
your crewmen, are you?
No, but he's like, is there fuck. He's like, if we would have had, I could ask that Tim Tom Chubby Tap guy to see if he would have.
Made catnip beer.
They got a branch here? Oh, no. I don't know.
Well, I mean, we kind of waylaid that one guy on his way here.
You know, I'm starting to notice hindsight is a big deal, especially with you. You guys seem to do a lot first, and then afterwards we're like, oh, that would have been a better idea to do it later.
That,
Right.
you know what? You're right.
Yeah. Impulse control.
It's one of my problems, but we work through it.
We're working on it.
We're working on it.
Sometimes.
Well, yeah, let me know. Let me know if you find any. Because if I can motivate that cat, I'll do it. And you saw how happy he was for booze. Imagine if I could get catnip booze. I'm getting ahead of myself.
Yes.
Well,
Could be a
give me how long
million
have you guys
gold
been
idea.
there?
I mean, I feel like we've been there an hour, but I don't know.
Yeah, you guys have been there for some
9 years.
D4?
Yeah, D4. D4 time!
I got a 1.
Also got
Yeah.
1.
The dice agree.
But
It is,
I
isn't it?
agree, it's 1 hour. And then Brian was rolling, he's like, I somehow got a 9. Your day ripped, Brian. You got very little accomplished in your day. Wow. Well, they're like having full-on conversations. You're like, I'm going to spend 4 hours watching people and eating tacos. Of course, you did then charm somebody and set up like a spy ring and then started bribing. You started bribing, the guards. So I'm actually a little
Right.
shocked by this. All right. So Bertram, he thanks you for you guys coming in there, and tells you that he has to. He has to attend to some other customers. He can't sit and talk with you all day. He'd love to, but he can't. What do you guys do? Like as he's now out and about. I guess move on.
Well, I don't really have any other plans.
Yeah, same. I'm kind of just, I came for the tacos.
Yeah.
Tacos? I can't make my mouth do that word right.
So I know there was the repository, but didn't you mention there's like a magic college or something like that might know more about
the Arcane University.
Yeah, is there a way? Because I think Edward gave me this scroll back. I think.
Did he?
Or did he?
I don't think he did.
Or no, he didn't. Okay.
He did not.
Maybe not. Never mind. So I was thinking that I would kind of want to go research things there, but I will.
Did Brian just disappear?
He did.
I'm here.
I think so.
Yeah, your camera's
Sort of there.
Yeah. It's cool. I'll be right back.
All right.
Okay.
I thought he had given it back, but maybe not. I can't remember now.
Okay.
But
So what do you guys feel like doing then? So you're going to the university, or are you heading back?
So I kind of wanted to show that scroll to someone at the university, but if I don't have it, there's no reason to go there. I guess for today we can just kind of chill. I can't remember. Did Brian relay any of that stuff from the Grith Grin to us, or did he? No, that little shit.
He did not.
Okay.
I think so.
So we're kind of just like assuming that he doesn't know that he was a dead end for him. All right.
Yeah.
So
you have successfully practiced Misty Step. That is now part of your spells.
no.
Fodor, what are you planning on doing? What are you doing? Are you
I'm just reading my book,
okay?
trying
So
to figure
you
out
now-
what I can teach more to Mr. Birdnacious.
Okay,
Make
well,
more
you
use
can
of it.
add to this Birdnacious. Now, you have you have taught Birdacious to confuse an opponent. He can do it 3 times in a day, 3 times per long rest. It causes 0 damage, but it will cause the attacker a 50-50 chance to attack his own people.
So it's like a DC 10 or something, or
How's that? Yeah, what does that work?
It's going to be a wisdom save of right now it's like 13, and it'll go up as he levels up. But yeah, pretty much you get there and you can command Birdacious to fly with feathers and feet and noise in their face to disorient them, and they will be confused for 1 round.
nice.
Okay, awesome.
Yep.
Is there anything I can do to like study my spells or anything, or?
You can go back and try to get more spells. Like you've got 5 days, so.
Fuck yeah! I'll go back to the library if that's an option.
Okay. You can. Do you have a library card?
I don't think I have one yet. I can apply for a library card.
It's now midday. Okay.
Yeah, so it's like 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock or whatever.
Yeah, it's midday now. Fodor has gone back and he has trained Beardnacious.
Beard.
Beardnacious to go and with his attack, and he's continuing reading. So you get your spell, you're like kind of cool about it, you're kind of happy with it, but then you're like, I gotta go back, see if I can get another spell.
I've got the itch.
Yeah.
I would like.
You get in there and Ticks and Skits are like, you back?
Yes, I am.
What for this time?
More magic.
Once you start,
Yep.
you just get hooked.
I can't help it. I want more.
That's the way with all of you, and then you're gonna apply to the university. Just watch me. Watch. We try to get in there soon. So do I need to show you the way, or you know?
No, I know right to the way right to go.
Yeah, level 3.
Yes.
Yeah, you said that with such confidence. I really thought, you really oozed the knowledge of where you go. Level 3.
Yes.
You got to level 3 this time, and instead of Mike standing there, Kronos and is all anxious. Now you see like a person, similar facial structure, but like ish to Mike, but he's got a horse bottom.
Centaur.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's like a very crude one. Like a polymorph that was like half-assed.
Hello
And
there.
He's like, yes. Tic-toe, right?
Yes.
What do you think?
Kronos.
Yes. Hey, I am a centaur-ish thing.
What happened to not using magic?
What are you talking about?
I talked to you yesterday and said you didn't like to use magic and didn't want to use magic because it makes you feel weird.
You talked to that Mike.
Oh.
Yes, he doesn't like magic.
There's more than one Mike?
Right.
There's more than one Kronos?
There's one Kronos. Who is made of many Mikes. That Mike, from before I learned magic.
Hmm.
God keeping them together.
Oh.
But
Time.
this one,
Got it.
the master of shapes, bestial shapes. Well, in process.
Obviously.
Yes. You're figuring out who Mike is now?
Yes, I figured out who Mike is now.
And where his name? Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
Kronos the Ringmaker, Kronos of many mics.
So, yeah, he's not put together.
Well, should I call you Kronos or Mike? Which do your form?
It's all the same.
Very well. Kronos.
He notices the clomping sound of his hoof as he's walking, and he has stopped paying attention to it, and he's right now just kind of like, nice.
I was wondering if I could learn levitate today.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I don't know. Is that within your skill set? It feels like you're moving a little quick.
Yes, it's a spell I can learn.
I don't know. You go from Misty Step to Levitate right away. I mean, I feel...
I have lots of interests. Is there something you think it would be better off with?
Yeah. It's a good spell. It's good. You sure you don't want something more in the polymorph category? You know, like you could do this, still self. Alter self, maybe? I mean, a true practicing magician, wizard, should maybe think about alter self. It's just, and then he looks at you, and then he gets distracted again because now he realizes that the tail he's got can swish back and forth, and he's stopped paying attention again, and he's just like fascinated
No,
by what's going on behind him.
I believe I'll go with levitate today, if possible.
Suit yourself. I mean, if you like that kind of magic.
I like all kinds of magic. I'm feeling like levitating today. Sounds fun.
Right. I don't know. Do we talk about, do you have a library card or no? Are you?
No one's brought it up before. Maybe that might...
I'm almost positive that I brought it up before the last time.
No, he just said that I didn't have to, like, I just couldn't take the scroll with me if I didn't have a library card.
That's how libraries work.
No. I couldn't take it with me unless I had a library card, but I could go look at the scroll.
Oh, you could write it into your spell book.
Yes.
Bring your book?
I always bring my book, Kronos. Who do you think I am? A novice?
You're looking
Don't say it.
So, yes, I believe you are a novice.
I mean, it's better than a cantrip. Come on.
Right. That would be what a novice would say. Never underestimate your cantrips. They are your most useful spells.
Yes.
You do constantly. I mean, mending? Are you serious? Prestidigitation? Do you know how many times it's gotten?
Oh, I use that all the time.
Yeah, and you will forever. Cast wish and then prestidigitation to clean up all the shit that drops out of people's asses after you successfully do a wish spell. I mean, it's a dead useful spell. Don't downplay cantrips just because you can do it all day, every day.
Yes, that's fair.
I mean, it's young wizards think they know.
I'm just mad because I can't learn more of them without... Like, they're harder to learn for some reason.
Yeah, that's why it takes time. Which I thought you were a time wizard. That's what you said. But then you come in and like, oh, I'm a time wizard. Let me learn levitation.
Well...
Very, very powerful time magic right there.
I haven't been able to find many time spells at this level. Okay?
So, I'm just gonna clarify you for future navigations within the magical circles. Not yet a time wizard.
I mean, I can chrono shift.
That's like taking first year biology and being like, I'm a doctor.
But
No, you're not.
but
You are
but
just starting.
but I can chrono shift.
And I can turn myself into a horse. It doesn't mean I'm a centaur.
Yes, well.
I mean, in
You know
time,
what?
you know,
I know. I have room to learn. I understand.
lots of room to learn. I'm just messing with you, but levitate's a good spell. Fly would be better, but, you know, levitate's good.
Oh, I already have that one. I
Then
think.
why do you need the other one?
Reasons. Oh no, I don't have fly yet. That's a 3rd level spell.
I was confused as to where you're like, I need to learn levitation, but I can already fly.
I've heard in my reading, I've heard
That's
levitate referred to as the poor man's hold person.
Who told you that?
Well, you know, people.
I feel like you subscribe to the scrolls of Reddit. I feel like you're spitting a lot of knowledge out from that.
What if I am?
Of Reddit.
What if I am?
I feel like it's right over there. You can see it. He's like, come here, and he takes you there. You get the levitate spell.
Yay!
You copy it in there or no?
Yeah, I copy it into my spell book.
All right. He's like, you're gonna need to get a library card if you're gonna come back and do this.
Okay, I'll get one the next time I come.
Yeah. As you do it, he kind of like sitting there and he's walking around, and then his whole personality, like his whole visage changes, and he the shape drops, and he looks old now, but still young, like same face, but still he looks like he like hunches and he moves a little slower, and he's like, is there anything else that you would need? And you notice he's like off the ground by like this much.
Wow. You're levitating.
What? No, just walking's hard at
Why are you
my
not
age.
why are you not on the ground?
Because walking's hard at my age. I just said so.
Fair.
Been a while since I've seen you.
Yeah.
How's time stopped treating you?
I haven't gotten it yet.
Right.
Yay.
Right.
Just like has like this giant grin on his face. I was like,
What
yay.
spell are you learning?
Well, I just learned levitate.
Right. That's what you just learned.
Yes. So, should I leave before you tell me more about my future, or how does this work?
No, I just needed to remember when it was.
Okay. Well, anyway, I assume it's like dinner time now.
Yeah. It took you 4.5 hours to copy that spell down.
Yep. Well, Kronos, I appreciate your help with me today. I'm sure I'll see you again from the sounds of it.
I know I will. I always look forward to our visits.
I agree.
And remember what we've talked about. If you have any information on it, it would be very helpful. But
Information on
today-
what?
what we always talk about.
What do we always talk about, Kronos?
The unification stone.
Ah. If
were
you could
supposed
refresh
to-
my memory.
We haven't talked about it yet, have we?
If you could refresh my memory.
Well, have a good day. I feel like I've gotten things out of order again.
Maybe it sounds important. Maybe you should tell me so that I can start looking for information on that earlier. Maybe this is how I found out about it.
Memory serves. You brought it up to me when I broke.
Okay.
Don't remember. I don't think you're there yet.
Okay. Well, you know what? I'm sure we'll see each other again. I'll keep an eye out for the Unification Stone, Kronos. It's good to see you as always.
Right. And as you leave, he's muttering to himself. He's like, "You've got to remember time when it is." He's like, "Stop talking out of order." You hear him like muttering to himself. Just so you know, the Unification Stone is the thing he's looking for to put his mind in the right order.
Yeah.
Because he keeps like shifting from old, young.
Yeah.
To, like,
I picked up on that.
yeah. So super powerful, super damaged. So what are we doing? It is. Everybody's had their day.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'll head back to the Tilted Chalice and wait for Edward, and we'll
right, do
have
we
some
have
dinner.
how much time does everybody have left in him to play? It is now 9:36.
I mean,
We
I
can
don't
wrap it
have
up
I don't
now.
have a combat in me, but I could do some like wrap up like team thing.
Well, I was gonna say we could do that, or we could take a break and play for another half hour. It's up to you guys. However much you have in you, I know some of you guys got to get up early in the morning. So
Yeah, I do too. So if we could just do like a wrap up sesh with the dudes, and then
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
All right.
I feel like that's about right.
So, Fodor, you've been in the back, in like kind of in the with the area where he keeps the birds, working with Birdnacious, and sometimes out behind the Tilted Chalice in like kind of a large area. And you're pretty pleased with the progress you've made and his like confusion attack.
What's all?
And as you're coming in, it's now like the dinner time. Edward comes in, and Ticto comes in, flaunting off his new levitation spell, and he's kind of like floating and like pushing himself along like an awkward swim. And Urk, who's sitting there watching, he just smiles as he's got his one of you don't know if it's his children or a family member, but a very obviously younger orc that comes in, whose name is Thrask. Coming in, and he's waiting the table. He's waiting the table. He's like, "What do you want?"
ale
It's a shock.
and a sandwich.
Steak. We got a veggie sandwich too. And
Steak.
I was gonna say we also got bacon.
Bacon
Got bacon,
sandwich.
too.
I want
you could do
bacon.
bacon.
I'll do bacon
Some
sandwich.
vegetables on it. Okay, yeah.
What about a bacon steak sandwich?
My God,
That sounds amazing.
that's never been done before, except by everybody.
Like, but that sounds amazing. We
Yeah,
need it.
all right. So he yells back in Orcish. If any of you speak Orcish, you hear two regular fucking sandwiches. So you get a steak and bacon sandwich, both of you.
That makes sense.
I keep
guys
waiting
did
for
it.
Fodor to be all like, "Can I get like the steak, and then in the middle the bacon, and then the steak with no bread?"
It's coming. It's coming.
Gotta work up to that. It's level
It's
5
like-
right there.
Big
Yeah, that's
gangbang.
level 5 sandwich right there. I can't handle all that right now.
I think it would break Fodor's brain.
That's awesome.
Maybe.
So you guys all sit down and they bring your sandwiches. Thrask is not as much of a talker as Ernst is.
No.
So you guys,
Man.
he bring you your food. You need anything else?
No.
Yes, please. I'd like one of the veggie sandwiches.
For real?
Yes, please. And if you, I don't want to be trouble, but do you have maybe some fresh fruit on hand?
Yeah, I'll go check. Does any of you speak Orc?
No, we already established this.
Okay, yeah, I forget. Like, there's a lot. This is gonna shock you, but I have a lot of
Mhm.
people bouncing around in my head right now. I'm trying to keep track. I'm actively writing characters as you guys make me encounter them. So shut up.
Yeah.
So you've never heard Orcish sound quizzical, and then you hear it come back from the kitchen in an even more confused tone, and you guys are kind of like you're putting it into your head, like you guys have decided what the conversation is. We got a veggie sandwich, and then they'd be like, "What? Yeah, he wants a sandwich with no veggies." You're fucking kidding me.
I think you broke them a little bit, Edward.
He comes
Oh,
out.
oh dear, I didn't mean to.
Oh
He
no.
comes out with like an apple and like some bread and like a shitload of lettuce and like a banana next to it and like some various like other carrots. It's just like every vegetable that they would put adjacent to meat or in a stew, just like throw it on the bread. He's like, "I guess here."
Oh, thank you very much. I'm sorry if I broke you.
Yeah, no, I mean, we have to say we have it, but I've just never had anybody be like, "Yeah, I want that." it's just weird.
Yeah.
I
Well,
mean, but if it's good, let me know. And if you got any ideas to change it, I mean, maybe it's something.
so, Edward, did you find anything out on your errands today?
Find anything out?
I mean,
do you mean?
Did you what'd you do with your errands today?
Oh, I got lost.
You got lost.
Big city.
I see.
You're such a piece of shit, dude.
Why though?
Well, did you find anything out about that scroll yesterday, by the way?
Oh yeah, that thing is quite evil.
Well, yeah, I figured that out, but did you find anything else about what we could do about it? Like where we could go or
Well, I don't think we need to worry about that. There was this nice man who told me that it was incomplete, so really it's worthless.
is there anything we could do to complete it or find out more about it?
Oh yes, but I don't really think that we're up to par just yet.
Could you leave that to the group to decide and not yourself? Can I get an insight?
Okay.
If he's like,
Do competing insight checks then.
'cause I'm just like
Oh,
curious
okay.
if he's like intentionally deceiving me or if he's just like,
Hold on, Edward is a deception, and you are insight.
yeah.
All right.
I don't have a good wisdom,
Figure it
so he'll
out.
probably beat my ass in it. But
All right, deception.
God damn it,
Oh,
I had a 6.
nice. That's a 19 on the die plus 3.
I had a 6, so I believe him.
22.
Wah, wah.
That's awesome.
You get the feeling that Edward is legitimately concerned about whether or not we would be able to complete such a task as like finding the rest of the pieces of this thing and putting it together without putting ourselves in serious mortal risk.
Hmm. Well,
Alright.
is there anything you think anywhere you think we should go? I'd like to take this to the Arcane Universe, the scroll to the Arcane University tomorrow. Could I have it back?
Oh yes, of course. And he, allows you to reach into his bag and grab the scroll.
Yeah, I grab it and put it in my bag.
Alright. So then, what are we doing?
Well, sounds like for the night, since Edward is stonewalling us above the table, um, it sounds like we're kind of have figured out a path. I'm going to take the scroll to the Arcane University to try and figure out if there's anyone that might be able to shed more light on it. But for now, Edward is keeping all of his information that he's been gathering close to the chest.
Right.
He will go ahead and tell you that the place in which he does not want to go at this point is what he feels to be the Mournland,
Mm-hmm.
and that there is a good indication that there is a structure there that holds the next piece.
Mm-hmm. I see.
He will also tell you freely that the scroll is in Primordial.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
Alright.
Interesting.
Alright, well then,
I thought
guys-
you were so. I thought with all your sneaky spy shit that you were being like intentionally like not telling us shit. So that makes more
He's
sense
trying
now.
to get all the cool.
Just trying to steal all the loot, that bitch.
no.
All right, he
All right.
doesn't want the tacos.
So you guys are gonna be heading up to bed, and
Yep.
now that the scroll is back in Tikto's hands, you share in the dreams of this one. You have the dream of a large, like, unlike it's a room with like the blackened void in the middle of it. This one you have a dream of two metal pylons growing up out of, like, they go up and out of your field of vision, and they're metal pylons, and in the dream they start to crack and break, and as they break, you feel this sense of elation in your mind, like you want them to break. Edward, you have another dream again of the same fortress. Except now you're getting, like, you have a drive, a pull to want to go see this.
Do I dream since I'm not blackout drunk this time?
You have yet to touch this. You haven't touched the scroll.
I don't think he's even looked at it.
Yeah, you haven't really messed with it, so you have no idea. You are completely devoid of the effect of it right now. Yep.
Am I
So,
experiencing any kind of pull, or that's just Edward?
No, you just really, really want those pylons to crack and break.
Okay.
But he must construct additional pylons.
Right.
Construct additional pylons.
Need
more pylons. So, we thank you guys for joining us. Due to my wedding next week, we'll be having an extra episode tomorrow. So you're welcome to join us at 7:30 Central, 8:30 Eastern for a next step of Eberron. And as always, thank you. You guys have a good night.
Yep.
And do not forget that you can always shop for your local nerd when you go to tabletoploot.com and use our promo code NOL15 to get 15% off of any set of dice you may be wanting to give to your nerds this holiday season.
Thanks for watching, guys.
Take
Thank
care.
you for watching.
Thanks for joining.